Tennessee orange. Or what did the guy say in the soundbite? That is it the trash?
It's
trash
puke
worker?
orange.
Puke orange.
Yeah, Knoxville looks like a garbage truck workers convention.
That's the one. Wisconsin looks elegant as always. Gringo is here. The Godfather is here. And Bob is here as well. So you can come and join us. The Mix and Match Taco Tuesday, but the burritos are going to get some chicken feathers headed up here. You want to go guac, add some of that jalapeno in-house smoked bacon. They got that as well. SocialTaco.bar for more information. Check out the menu. Always a fun time with our friends here in the Terrace.
So Ronnie Sanders, the publisher of Auburn Undercover, he joined us about 30 minutes ago. He told us that unless it bottomed out, which he did not see that happening, even with the remaining teams on Auburn's schedule, that Auburn, he did not anticipate them making a change during the season at the head coaching position. So we'll see if that holds firm, if Auburn can get things turned around starting on Saturday night. They're now an underdog at home against Missouri. Mizzou is a 2-point favorite.
Well, bottom line, I guess, if you're going to finish 7-5, you're going to have to beat somebody good that's left on your schedule.
Absolutely.
Whether it's Missouri, whether it's Vanderbilt, whether it's Alabama, you're going to have to win at least one of those games.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. I don't think going to Arkansas.
No, that's not easy.
That's not going to be an easy job at all to be able to win there. But one game at a time. Some news coming out of Tuscaloosa. On3 is reporting that Alabama wide receiver Bubba Hampton intends to enter his name into the transfer portal. The former four-star recruit has 3 years of eligibility remaining. Hampton and Alabama previously decided to part ways. He will finish out this semester in Tuscaloosa before entering the transfer portal.
Yeah, I'm hearing it, and this is not SEC specific. This is across all the college football, but coaches are in roster management right now. It's becoming a deal, and you got guys that are coming to them, and there was insinuation that's what was going on with Damari Alston in his case at Auburn, but guys wanting to redshirt and coaches having to manage things and look ahead of the season because it is a business, and some of these guys are already thinking about their next landing spot, their next deal, and where they're going and making sure that other year is available. So it's a new day. I guess we're just getting more used to it by the year.
Sure are. Also news from Auburn, good news. According to Auburn Undercover, four-star linebacker Shadarius Tootle, he has flipped his commitment from Georgia back to Auburn. If you remember, he was Auburn, then he flipped to Georgia. Now he's flipping from Georgia back to Auburn. So we'll see what happens on signing day.
I guess he was at the game on Saturday night.
Enjoyed the atmosphere,
yeah,
I assume. So he has decided that he is going to flip back to the Auburn Tigers. If you missed it yesterday, Kirby Smart met with the media. Take a listen to the question to Kirby Smart in regards to the infamous clapping, calling timeout, talking to the SEC.
Kirby, from the Auburn game, the timeout being waved off thing has become a thing. Have you talked to the SEC about that, and have you watched the film to kind of see that, like, it does appear that you are calling timeout? Did you even not realize you were, or what?
I talked to no one, the SEC office-wise, and I stand by what I talked about after the game. Worried about Ole Miss.
It sounds like
just the pregnant pauses.
Every one of his buddies, his coaching buddies that are still in the business, his family members have asked him that question at that point in the way that he responded to that reporter.
Yeah, kind of irritated, but he didn't go off on the reporter. Yeah, exactly.
For the record, Kirby Smart.
So you were just talking about his coaching buddies?
Yeah.
How about Lane Kiffin going up against his old pal, Kirby Smart, this weekend between the hedges? Last year, Lane got the best of Kirby. Listen to this exchange from a reporter and Lane Kiffin, and Lane decides he's going to take a shot at his old pal, Kirby Smart.
Off-the-wall question, you and Kirby, two most probably restrictive coaches on the field. Who do you think burns more calories in a game, you or him?
I don't know. That's a good question. I walked by the TV and saw his press conference today, so it don't look like he's burned too many calories. But he does have a lot of energy in the games, and he coaches really passionate. And I've given him heat before about the weight loss part. He says he's too stressed to work out.
He walks by the TV, sees his press conference, and he says,
If Kirby wins, does he get to his post-game press conference and say, well, my fat butt just beat your butt?
yeah, that is great.
That is good.
Lane and Kirby this weekend.
Have we gotten a response from Kirby on Lane's comments about
I don't
about
think
his
so.
weight loss
I
or
think
caring about Kirby's personal health?
I think Kirby's probably more worried about the actual game itself as opposed to the
No
way
doubt.
Kirby looks or the way that Kirby weighs or whatever the case may be. He is all about those X's and O's right now, trying to stop Trinidad Chambliss. I think that's what he's probably more concerned with.
Yeah. Kirby does get a pretty good workout. Those hands get a really good workout. Between he and Nick Saban, there were a lot of hands on that sideline when they were at Alabama together.
Yeah, they certainly were. We will talk a little Georgia football with Mike Griffith from DogNation.com coming up in just a couple of minutes. We'll get his take and thoughts on the game from Saturday night in which the Auburn Tigers fell to the Georgia Bulldogs.
Kevin and Helena asked the question, is Missouri in trouble this Saturday with the officials possibly making some makeup calls? Maybe so.
Now that we've got all these different referee crews that's been like put on secret probation or whatever the case may be in the SEC.
So the Williamson guy the other night, we had somebody that said he's a realtor in Tuscaloosa, and then somebody said that's not the case. He's a Florida grad and he does something else.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. Right. Hey, and by the way, if these officials like, hey, this guy's got a family, and I understand that you don't want to take it too far, but these officials that we see that have been officials for 20, 25 years, if the scrutiny was so bad, why do they still do it?
Yeah. Great point. Well, let's ask Mike Griffith what he thought about the officiating Saturday night inside Jordan-Hare Stadium from DogNation.com. Covers the SEC for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Mike, I hope you're doing well on this Tuesday.
Doing great, guys. Thanks.
All right, so your take on the whole goal line debacle, the Kirby calling timeout, not calling timeout. What was your grade on the officiating crew on Saturday night?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about grading anybody, but if you're talking about the officials missing the Georgia touchdown, I mean, yeah, and I'm surprised the fans missed that too because everyone's talking about whether or not the ball crossed the plane, and that call was made on the field, and I couldn't see any. I didn't see a replay that showed anything conclusively, right? I didn't. I just didn't see a conclusive replay. So that being the case, you go back to the call on the field, right? And the guy fumbled the ball, and the Georgia guy recovered it and didn't go down and ran it for a touchdown, and they didn't call that. If as the play was called, that should have been the result, but apparently they whistled it dead early. So if there's a mistake on that play, it's that they whistled the play early and cost Georgia 7 points.
Mike, when you watched Auburn in person in that stadium, you've covered the Auburn program in your past, but you saw that Auburn team with your own eyes. What did you see, and where do the problems lie?
Teams play with anybody. I mean, they dominated Georgia. They looked a lot more impressive against Georgia than Alabama did. They just weren't as efficient scoring. But if you look at the numbers, I mean, they held Georgia to like 20 yards up until that goal line play. I mean, Georgia's offense had 20 yards. I think Auburn had around 170. They had to settle for a field goal on one other trip to the red zone. They were about to make it 17-0, but they dominated Georgia probably more than any team I've seen since Georgia's loss at Ole Miss last year, that 2010 loss. So that team's got teeth. That team has talent. That team has power. They just didn't handle the resiliency real well. They just weren't real resilient. I mean, a play went against them, and to Georgia's credit, this is kind of what Georgia does. They've shown a lot of resiliency against other teams they've trailed against. They were down 21-7 against Tennessee in the first quarter on the road. So it's a good Georgia program. They make adjustments. Kirby talked about Hugh Freeze did some things differently offensively than they'd seen all year. So he schemed them up really well, and it took Georgia a while to catch up to what they were doing. And then defensively, their run-stop defense did a better job against Georgia than anybody. I mean, hypothetically, Auburn could win out. They're good enough to beat everybody left on the schedule. That's fact. So I guess we'll see where they go from here.
In regards to the pecking order in the Southeastern Conference, based on what you've seen, we're at like mid-season now. Who are the upper echelon teams, in your opinion, from the SEC?
Well, I mean, probably Texas A&M. They haven't lost yet, and they went on the road and beat Notre Dame 41-40, and Notre Dame looks pretty good. I guess they're going to make another run for the playoff after losing those two games. You know, Notre Dame's other loss was to Miami, which I have number one in my poll. I think Miami looks like the best team in the country to this point. But Texas A&M probably has the best-looking resume. You know, Alabama was very fortunate to get out of Missouri with a win. There was a very controversial call in that game, too, but I guess nobody's complaining about that. It looked to me like the Missouri guy got the fourth down on the fake punt, but there wasn't a camera angle. It sure looked like he made it, you know, from where his body was contorted, but, you know, that game wasn't in prime time, and, you know, I guess this call doesn't, you know, call goes Alabama's way. Nobody wants to complain about it, but I thought Missouri made a first down on their fake punt. But the call went against them, and Alabama hung on and won. I thought it was interesting. Alabama's best player got knocked out of that game. I guess if you guys got a status update on Jam Miller, is he going to be back?
Under concussion protocol. Not sure if he'll be able to play this week.
Yeah, and you know the scary thing is that's a clean hit. That wasn't a helmet-to-helmet hit. I mean, we all have it in our head that it's got to be targeting. That wasn't targeting. That was a shoulder pad. I mean, that was just a heck of a shot. I mean, Missouri bowed up and took on Alabama. That's scary. And what does it say to us that Auburn's favored over Missouri on Saturday? That was a good
actually,
game,
they're not, Mike.
That flipped apparently this morning.
It's
okay.
not. Mizzou's a 2-point favorite.
Okay, well, it opened as Auburn as a 2.5-point favorite.
Correct.
That was the opening line. So all the money is going on Missouri. That must be what happened. Because, yeah, so the odds makers made Auburn a 2.5-point favorite. So that tells you what they think about Auburn. Because if all the money's going on Missouri for Vegas to win and build more hotels and water fountains, they need Auburn to win. They're banking on Auburn winning that game. So this is going to be interesting, right? We'll see if those guys in Vegas know what they're doing. Because I was surprised by that line, too. But Missouri impressed me. I thought Missouri was really good. I thought they played really physical football, which is something you've got to do against Alabama. Alabama impressed me, too, but they got to Ty Simpson. They had the pass rushers. You know, the Georgia guy, Damon Wilson got to him. Georgia probably wishes they still had him. But Missouri looks like a team to be reckoned with. I mean, we'll see though. They got to come to the Plains and beat the Auburn Tigers first, and we'll see how Auburn responds. That's going to be an intriguing game. But get back to your question. Texas A&M, Alabama, probably winner of Alabama or winner of Georgia, Ole Miss would be the three teams. Texas isn't dead yet. You know, they got a friendly schedule. They got a week off before they play Georgia, and I believe they have A&M at home. So I'd kind of keep Texas on the periphery.
Mike Griffith, who covers the SEC for DogNation.com and the AJC, joining us here on 3-Man Front on the Higginbotham Hotline. You referenced Ole Miss and their domination of Georgia last year in Oxford. This year heads back to Athens. This Ole Miss team, based on what you've seen and how they stack up against Georgia, do you think different, better, different, same, or how would you describe this particular matchup with Ole Miss and what you've seen from the Rebels thus far?
Well, I mean, if I look at Ole Miss's resume, they beat Kentucky by a touchdown. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's not very impressive is what I'm saying. When they beat LSU, we thought that was a big deal. Do we still think that's a big deal? When they beat Tulane, we thought that might be. Was that a big deal? I guess I'm saying, what's Ole Miss really done so far? I mean, if you look, what's their most impressive win so far? You guys got the schedule up. What's Ole Miss's most impressive win so far?
Well, I mean, I think everyone would probably say LSU, but I understand where you're coming from because of the fact that LSU can't score points.
Okay. So if their most impressive win is over LSU, I mean, what does that say about Ole Miss?
So what
at this point?
Well, I'm just curious. Where would you classify Georgia's best win?
Probably on the road against Tennessee.
Okay.
the team that beat Alabama 2 out of the last 3 years.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about now, Mike. That's not germane.
Okay.
That's not germane to the
Okay.
conversation.
I was trying to remember the last time Alabama. I look at Alabama as the standard in the SEC. When I think about the SEC, I think about Alabama and Georgia setting the standard. Those are
Right.
the two teams.
I understand.
And if a team beats Alabama or Georgia, it gets my attention, which is why I came on your show before the season when so many Alabama fans were crying and complaining about Kalen DeBoer and told you that I thought Alabama was a playoff team this year, right? Remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I was right. They are. So in my mind, if you're good enough to beat Alabama, you're pretty special. And the fact that Tennessee has been able to beat Alabama, has it been the last 2 times in Neyland Stadium? Is that right?
What did you ask?
Yeah, it's the last 2 times in Neyland, 2 out of the last 3 years.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So the fact that Tennessee's beaten Alabama the last 2 times in Neyland Stadium makes it impressive to me that Georgia won there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, I understand your line of
Yep.
thinking.
Because
Okay.
I consider Alabama a standard. So people don't need to get pissed off. They need to realize that when you're the standard, which is what Alabama has been, what you do gets noticed, and other people get compared to that. And so when I say that, I'm not being a smart aleck. I'm telling you, if Alabama can't win at Neyland Stadium, in fact, the fact of the matter is, I think Georgia's the only team to win at Neyland Stadium in the last 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. I think that might be right. So when you're asking me what their most impressive win is, yeah, I think that's pretty doggone impressive to win at Neyland Stadium, especially when you're down 21-7 in the first quarter and have to go for it on a 4th down. So, yeah, that was an impressive win. And you know what? I think winning at Jordan-Hare Stadium's impressive. And I know that people are down on Auburn, but I'm telling you guys, Auburn looked as good as anybody I've seen this year. I mean, they really did. I mean, those first 2 quarters, they looked really, really good. And, they lost on the road to Oklahoma, and, okay, maybe there's some officiating there that was legit. This officiating, and besides, like I said, it's not the first time Hugh Freeze got screwed on some calls.
No, it's not. And while the officiating, it's a problem.
Oh, you're talking about the officiating.
Well, no.
Yeah,
I'm saying
true.
moving forward, but I'm looking at an Auburn offense that put up 40 yards in the second half, and that had nothing to do with the officiating.
Yeah, well, it didn't. It had to do with Georgia. You're right. So, yeah, we got to give Georgia a little bit of credit. I mean, they shut out Alabama in the second half too, right? See, there's that Alabama standard again.
Georgia's just much
There's that
better in the
Alabama
second half
standard.
than they are the first half. It's a trend with Kirby Smart teams going back to last year.
Kirby can't get his team fired up in the first half. That's obvious.
He wasn't able to get any timeouts called in the first half. That's the problem, guys. See?
Kirby waits for you to
Yeah,
empty all the bullets in the chamber, and then he reacts and beats you down.
Yeah.
This has been a problem all this time. Kirby was trying to say, Kirby, no, that's not the timeout. You got to use. You got to call for timeout. He's practicing that, guys. He's been having trouble with the timeouts all year. I think he's come out of this. Everybody's asked about this whole Kirby Smart timeout thing, right?
Is it a lie if you believe it?
I don't know. Ask people that follow Nick Saban. Here's the people that you don't.
All right. Hold on, Mike.
I'm not leaving my.
Hold on.
My point is this. Coaches lie. To me, because I'm going on all these shows. Oh, I can't believe Kirby said it. I'm like, do you not realize that coaches lie every stinking day?
Thank you, Mike.
And they believe what they say? This is not news. This is rain is wet. Coaches lie.
Thank you.
That's right.
Okay? Not a headline. I mean,
yes.
because I'm thinking to myself, what's the disconnect? Why are people so many infatuated with what's going on? Because people are calling, oh, what do you think of that? Oh, what do you think about Kirby? What do you mean what I think? I go to every press conference. I try to pick out the lie. It's the same way. I think it's the same thing with Nick Saban. Nick Saban lied. Secondary violation, unintentional violation. Oh, we didn't know they were doing it. They lie, every stinking one of them. Every stinking one of them.
Okay.
And it's just
Mike,
part of the business.
I understand. Hold on. Hold that thought. Don't want to tamp you down with a wet blanket, but just hold on. When we come back, we'll finish up with Mike Griffith from DogNation.com here on Three Man Front. Oh, he never disappoints on a Tuesday. The text lines are exploding. My personal text messages are exploding. Mike, why do you do this to us every Tuesday? Why do you come in here and just light the match, you throw it down on the keg, and you just walk away? Why do you do that?
Well, I enjoy talking about sports, and I think it's good to share a different perspective. And, you know, over the break, guys, I was feeling a little guilty because I realized that when I coached, I lied too. There were times I went out and argued calls that I knew that the umpires got right because I was trying to break the momentum up in the game and change things because the other team was hot. So I'd go out and complain and try to be a big distraction and all that kind of stuff. And people would go, oh, man, that guy's such a jerk. Well, I didn't really care. I just wanted my team to forget about the call that just happened, the way the game was going, and give them a chance to reset. So that's what I wanted to do. And so I think that's a part of gamesmanship, and I think it's up to the officials and the referees to recognize when that's happening and control the sideline. So I don't put that on the coach for trying any more than I put it on somebody that tries to talk their way out of the ticket when the police officer pulls them over and says, you know how fast you were going, and you go, oh, I had no idea. Oh, no, I didn't know. I didn't know that was the speed limit here. You know, it didn't used to be, or I'm from out of town. I didn't know that, officer. And you're praying, and then you get mad when they don't give you the warning. Can you believe that guy wrote me up? He wrote you up. What did he write you up for? Every mile an hour I was going. He didn't lie on the ticket and say I was going 10 miles an hour less. People get mad. I know I did. I got a ticket when I moved to Georgia. I said, can you believe that guy? I got a military license plate on my car, and he didn't. Not only did he not give me a break on the ticket, he wrote me up for the full amount. Well, yeah, because I was going that fast. So I probably deserved it. But in my mind, I should have caught a break because there was no traffic out. There weren't even any animals out. The squirrels were even still up in the trees. It was 10 o'clock in the morning. There was nobody on the road. All he did was there. So my point is, let's be realistic about what Kirby Smart did. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. It happens every Saturday, every football stadium, every recruiting trip. It happens all the time. He's just a person like everybody else. Give Kirby a break, man. He's a human being. Come on.
Mike Griffith joining us here on 3-Man Front, joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. If you don't mind, and I know that you were born here in the great state of Alabama, you're a property owner here. You went to Michigan State, so you know the Big Ten. IU, Kurt Cignetti. How is he getting it done, Mike?
Well, he brought a lot of guys from James Madison over with him, so he brought the culture with him. And remember when we talked about Kalen DeBoer last year, and the trick was going to be how does he not necessarily maintain, because you can't maintain what Nick Saban did. He was the most successful coach of our lifetime. You're not going to go in there, you know, you're not going to follow Picasso and paint the same picture. You got different artists in here, right? It's like when Van Halen, you change lead singers, they're not going to sound quite the same. So you got to find your own way to build your culture. Well, you come in there, and the problem for Kalen DeBoer was Caleb Downs, the best defensive player in the country, was out the door. He was gone. All these players left when Nick left, so he didn't even have a 52-card deck to deal with. You know, you wonder why he doesn't have any kings and aces in his hands, because they left. So he had to build a new culture, right? And that takes time. Well, Cignetti brought the culture with him. Now, I do think, if I'm not mistaken, I think a couple guys came with DeBoer from Washington, right?
That's correct, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I think if you go back and look at the Indiana roster, I think a lot of guys
are all James Madison guys. Yeah.
Yes. So he brought the culture with him. He came into a conference that's very weak at the bottom. So you had a lot of bottom dwellers you were able to just sail past. Just show up. You know, I mean, there's so many bad teams in the Big Ten. It's not like the SEC where, you know, every weekend, you know, Mississippi State, you know, that's your worst team. They look pretty good to me. Kentucky, that's your worst team. Played Ole Miss within 7. You know, you guys seem to get offended when I hurt your Lane Kiffin media boy there. Sorry, but my point is he was able to kind of fly above a lot of the bad teams.
Our media boy. Oh,
well, you guys love Lane. Everybody got a crush on Lane.
Oh,
Kiffin.
Pat loves Lane.
I love Lane.
Oh, yeah. Pat took up yoga
Oh.
because of Lane Kiffin.
Yes, I got a yoga goat because
I
of
know.
him.
Kirby's a bad guy because he's got a bowl cut and he doesn't kiss the media's ass. And Lane's a great guy because he puts all this stuff on Twitter. look a little deeper into their lives and see who the real good guy is in the world. Okay.
Oh my
but
goodness.
my point is this: Signon, we're gonna keep it real here. That's what you want. Signetti came in. He was able to get past a lot of bad teams. He's got momentum. And here's the punchline. He out-recruited Georgia for that quarterback. Georgia went after Fernando Mendoza, and they couldn't get him.
Oh.
Indiana got him. That was a big recruiting win. So they've got a fantastic quarterback. They've got a winning culture. They've got confidence. They've got momentum. And they were able to take down that's the litmus test for me. Indy, you beat Oregon on the road. Okay, salute. You're the man. I got nothing more to say. You shut me up. Shut me up. You beat Oregon on the road. You shut me up. Takes a lot to do that.
Hey, you beat Brett Bielema in Illinois by 53. I'm a fan.
I think
of
we can
yours.
all agree. I think we can all agree on that one now.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree we want to see Brett Bielema get the hell beat out of him on the football field. I think everyone agrees with that.
That is no
I don't
lie.
think anybody likes that guy.
No.
I don't think he likes. You know how people look in the mirror and say I like me. I don't even think Brett Bielema can look in the mirror and say he likes himself.
All right, that is Mike Griffith. Joins us every Tuesday here on Three Man Front. Mike, it's always a pleasure. I hope you have a great week. Tell Lane we said hello.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks.
I know you guys love Lane. I'll send you guys some clips from Lane Kiffin.
Please do.
He's such a good guy. He's such a
is.
good guy.
Yeah.
So are you, Mike, and we love you.
That's
Thank
an
you.
honest coach.
That's an honest statement right there. We'll close
Yes.
on that.
Very much. All right,
All right.
Mike. Have a good
Thank you,
weekend.
guys.
Thanks.
Yeah,
See you
have
soon.
fun, guys. We'll see you.
Thank you. Always
Bye-bye.
do with Mike Griffith from the AJC. Man, goodness gracious.
He ticked off everybody in that one.
Yeah, that was.
We got Auburn fans yelling at him, Alabama fans yelling at him.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right. Well, you know what? We've got a very important event coming up later this month at Rickwood, and we're going to talk to our good friend Gerald Watkins next here on the program. This is Three Man Front on Jocks.
Welcome back in. It's Three-Man Front on this Taco Tuesday. We're here in the Terrace. A lot of friends, special guest going to be joining us. One of those includes Gerald Watkins, a friend of Rick Wood, and joining us here at the circular table where there are chips and salsa. Have you tried any chips and salsa?
Not yet, but as soon as I get done talking, I will.
Okay, please do.
It's great to see Gerald, and got a very special. It happens every October at Rick Wood. It's the Home Run Derby on October the 26th, and I know you guys are pretty excited about this year's event.
We are. This is the fourth Home Run Derby we've had, and we've added an extra couple of dimensions in here. We're bringing in a special guest to hit, which we'll talk to later. And we're also bringing in a special guest to sign autographs and meet the fans, Dwyer Brown.
Oh, yeah,
from Field of Dreams movie.
Field of Dreams.
And Dwyer is going to be on the show next week, so we're looking forward to that. I won't talk too much about him today because we've got another guest we need to talk to, and Landon.
Yep. Sonny D, who started his career Hoover High School, local product, played for Casey Dunn at Sanford, then finishing his career at Auburn. And Sonny joins us now on Three-Man Front. Sonny, how are you today?
Man, I'm great. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing great. I was just going back through some memories, and your former coach, Casey Dunn, he's actually here in the Taco Terrace, and there's a couple of things that need to address with you. But first, Sonny, the home run that you hit in Alex Box Stadium to straightaway center field off of the batter's eye when you guys were at LSU, I think it's the longest home run I've ever seen hit in that stadium. There may have been longer home runs, but you crushed that one. Do you have that memory? Is that maybe a top 5 Sonny D home run for you?
100%. Because the cool part about it was Coach Maneri came down after the game, and he said that that's the farthest ball he had ever seen hit to dead center there, too. And, I mean, I can remember it was like yesterday, Devin Fonno, 3-1 heater away. Just that was probably one of the better swings I've ever had.
Oh, that is amazing. Sonny, we've got Gerald Watkins sitting here at the table with us. I guess it really didn't take you long once they invited you to be a part of this event on October 26th for you to say yes.
Oh, no, it was easy, quick yes. I had to dust the cobwebs off the bat, but it'll be ready.
Sonny, I don't think you have too many cobwebs. This is Gerald again, and I want to thank you for coming, and I want to pat myself on the back. I think it was a stroke of genius for me to invite a legend from Auburn and Hoover. And as you've been to Rick Wood before, you know we have 2 fences. We have the regulation fence, and then we have the very deep fence. So I'm going to have some folks out there at the very deep fence and see how many balls you hit out there. So I do hope the cobwebs are off. I know we've got a brand new special bat made for you from Camwood Bats, courtesy of Wes Helms, and I know you're going to put on a show.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, but if that old fence out there still says 480 something, I think we're safe from that.
I don't know, but you know we've got Jack Wilson, who played with the Pirates and the Braves, coming to compete. We have Homer Bush, who played with the Yankees, and then Josh Willingham, who played with the Nationals, Twins, and Marlins. So we're going to have a good lineup, and then as I mentioned, we're going to have Dwyer Brown from Field of Dreams fame too. So it's going to be a fun Saturday.
Sonny, I'm just curious, in your lifetime, how many of these like home run derbies have you participated in?
I have competed in 2. I competed in one in Cooperstown, New York when I was 12, and then in my high school senior year, I competed in like a World Power Showcase in Miami at the Marlins Stadium.
How much different is preparation from a home run derby as opposed to normal game preparation?
You know, that's an interesting question because I never even really prepped for those, honestly. It was just kind of fed right into when I was practicing. So I need to start prepping for this one this week. I'll be up at the university just taking some swings, make sure I can still hit it fair.
You recently retired from professional baseball, and I saw where you're now a student assistant, grad assistant there at Auburn. Is coaching something you see yourself doing down the line?
Hey, you never know. I'm finishing my undergrad up at Auburn right now, so it was a great opportunity. They allowed me to come down here and be with them for the fall and the spring. And, I'll be coaching first base this spring, so whatever opportunity may arise from this, that could be awesome. If not, I'm going to stick around Auburn for a long time, still doing something coaching-wise, whether that's travel ball or lessons, all types of stuff. So a lot of things are uncertain coming up, but I'm excited to be with the team this year.
Well, let me ask you this, because one of the most interesting things that have come to baseball in the last couple of years has been the Savannah Bananas. Would that be something that you would ever consider perhaps being a part of?
I know that's a question from straight out of Coach Dunn's mouth.
Yep.
But,
Yep.
I think they're great what they do. I think that they are great at performing and doing all of the things that they like to do, and it's obviously great for the fans. I think it's kind of like the Globetrotters were, and what they're doing is, it's awesome. It's good to see baseball growing, but I do not see myself in their shoes.
Oh, Coach Dunn is so disappointed. Oh, the disappointment on your coach's face. Sonny, you would be. I've never been. I've always wanted to attend a Savannah Bananas game, but it looks really entertaining, and I think you would be a perfect fit for what they're trying to do.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see him firsthand. I'll be seeing him from the coach's box on the 25th up here at the university. So it'll be. We'll see. Maybe I'll have a different take after that, but.
All right, Gerald, you got to chime in here because you know Sonny's personality better than anybody else, and he would fit in perfectly, right?
Sonny would fit in perfectly, and even though I've only talked to Sonny a few times on the phone, and I met him at a card show, and I paid $100 and bought a game-used bat from him, I will say that Sonny's Uncle Vince and I worked together for the better part of 40 years in banking, and I'd known of Sonny for a long time before he burst on the scene at Auburn. But let me shift gears and say this too. I want everybody to come to the Home Run Derby. But I will tell you that next September we are having the Savannah Bananas return to Rickwood Field in the form of a couple of their spinoff teams, the Coconuts and the Indianapolis Clowns. So I want everybody to come to the Home Run Derby, because 2 lucky fans that show up at the Home Run Derby are going to win free tickets to see the Bananas or their teams. So if you're out there and you're on the fence about coming, that's another reason to come to our Home Run Derby, because those tickets are going to sell out like crazy, and we're going to pack the house like we did in 22 and 23. And Sonny, if you want to play for the Bananas, I got the head guy's name and number. I'll be glad to put you in touch.
Yeah.
Like I said, we need to watch him up here, and then we'll see. We'll see about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we want you to come and have a good time at the Home Run Derby, and I know the fans are going to love to see you, and it's going to be great to have you out there.
Yes, sir. I'm excited to be out there.
Well, Sonny, we appreciate it. Enjoyed watching your career. You're one of the great examples of why the transfer portal is a good thing in some instances, and watching your development from here locally in the metro area at Hoover, then to Samford, and then to Auburn, and now what you're doing now. Thanks for joining us. It was so much fun watching you play, watching you hit the long ball, and best of luck to whatever you do in the future.
Appreciate you guys for having me on. We'll see you out of the Home Run Derby.
All right. Sonny DiChiara joining us here on Three Man Front and joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline.
All right, so Gerald, once again, just to recap for those just now tuning in, Home Run Derby, October 26th, best way to get tickets there at the gate or online? What's the best way?
You can get tickets online at rickwood.com, or you can simply show up. We're not going to have a sellout. I wish we would, but we're not. But there'll be plenty of tickets there. You do have to buy an autograph ticket to get autographs of Sonny and the other guys. And each person that buys an autograph ticket will have a chance to go on the field and play catch with Dwyer Brown after the event is over. So the gates open at 12:30. The Home Run Derby itself starts at 3, but the autograph session runs from 1 to about 2:30. So I encourage all the fans to come. Check out rickwood.com. Look at our website. Call me if you have any questions. And I hope you two guys will show up.
Absolutely. That'll be a lot of fun. Do we get a couple swings?
Sure. Absolutely.
You can take my swings.
Can I take? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'd love that.
I don't screw up my golf game or my bowling.
Oh, listen to that.
Yeah. Well,
actually, I'm just old. I got too many ailments. I'll pull something else.
Well,
Gerald, always great to see you. Wonderful event coming up October the 26th. So go to rickwood.com for more information.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
we'll
Gerald.
see you. Talk to you next week with Dwyer Brown.
Absolutely.
Good to see you.
All right, we're
Thank
live
you.
at Social Taco. Come on by and see us. We'll be here until 2 o'clock here on Jocks. Always great to see Gerald Watkins, one of the dear friends of ours from Rickwood Field. Always great to talk baseball with him. And October 26th, take an opportunity to go by to the Home Run Derby. Go to rickwood.com for more information. For more than 4 decades, Alabama Professional Services, they have been your trusted choice for pest control, termite protection, lawn care, fertilization, and more. The certified statewide teams of APS experts, they're friendly, efficient, and reliable. Call them today, 205-951-9717. Whether you're looking for a safeguard for your home from pests or keeping your lawn healthy and green, APS delivers proven solutions backed by dependable customer service. Call them today, 205-951-9717. APS proudly serves homeowners and businesses across Alabama, including Birmingham, Montgomery, Huntsville, and surrounding communities. Call today for your free, no-obligation estimate. alabamaprofessional.com, 205-951-9717.
Our buddy Mike Griffith, who joined us earlier, he touched a nerve with some of you, which comes as a big surprise to us because he's always such a pacifist in his comments when he joins us every Tuesday. Greg says, sorry, Mike, but no, here's another pick at the goal line fumble. Thank you, Greg, from Leeds. Michael asks, does that clown have to bring up Alabama every time? That Mike guy from the AJC is very whiny.
Mike seemed like he had a little bit of a boned pick today.
Mike, obviously, says another listener, doesn't know the rule on the controversial call. Ball is marked where the ball goes out of bounds, not where the runner lands, clearly 2 yards short. I think that was the Alabama-Missouri reference. You can tell when Alabama's getting under Mike Griffith's skin when he starts throwing out his little jabs. Come on, Mike. Controversial call on the fake punt. Laughing, crying emoji. That's laughable. Jake chiming in. All of Lane Kiffin's skeletons are out in the open. Kirby's are still hiding in his closet with his timeouts. Oh, that's good. Also, extra bitter bringing up Tennessee, even though Alabama has beaten Georgia the last 2 years.
Here's the part that kind of got me, and I wasn't going to be like that argumentative because he was on a roll. So let me see if I get this straight. There was not a definitive look on the goal line play at Auburn.
Right.
And then he was griping because there wasn't a definitive angle on the Missouri going for it on 4th down out of bounds?
Well, no, he confidently knew that Missouri had converted it, but he somehow didn't see the Auburn-Georgia goal line play well enough to make a decision. But the Missouri one was definitely a bad call in Alabama's favor.
Bird chimes in, does Mike have PTSD when it comes to Alabama? He went left when he started talking about them. This one directed at Mike. Somebody let Mike know UGA beat Kentucky by 1 point last year. LOL. This person just said he's a female dog.
Oh.
Sean says, so I guess when Alabama whips Georgia's arse in Sanford Stadium, then shut the you-know-what up, you whiny female dog. Come on, guys.
He was extremely high on Auburn.
He was.
I mean, very high.
Said they're good enough to beat every team left on their schedule. Joseph says Mike is just as butthurt as Bama hater. Georgia getting smoked in the first half, then pulling it out, or in the game versus Bama, they did not. That is not a flex. Thank you for that text. He always finds a way to indirectly take a shot at Alabama, says Will, because his own team can't get it done. Boy, nasty language.
Mike stirs emotions.
So every Georgia win or feat is impressive, and every Ole Miss one is moot? Ask someone.
But I thought Mike loved Brian Kelly, because every time you've brought up Brian Kelly's name in the past about the possibility of him being on the hot seat.
We're talking about him being on the hot seat. Come on, guys. Come on.
But he was kind of poo-pooing when I said that LSU was the best Ole Miss win.
Right. I love Rick Wood in the baseball talk. Question for Pat about the Cardinals. I don't think Marmol is a good manager. Many times I've said not another Major League Baseball team would have him as their manager. Maybe I'm wrong. What does Pat think?
I agree with you 100%. I mean, I don't think he's going to be offered a job once the Cardinals fire him at some point this season. Because, unfortunately, I think that's what's ultimately going to happen.
Jason says, I thought I was listening to Rusty Wallace. Okay. Call on the field wasn't a fumble. After officials got together, they decided it was a fumble. Yeah. I'm reminded 33 years ago today, Landrum, the Sid Bream slide. I remember watching it. He rounded third. I was there in my room. Couldn't believe it. Thank you, Josh. On this day in 2016, Pat, number 1 Alabama defeated number 9 Tennessee 49-10. Jalen Hurts threw for 172 and ran for 132. Bama held Tennessee to just 32 rushing yards. Cooper Bateman also completed a pass, LOL.
Cooper Bateman, wow.
Yep. Posey says, I like Mike. There you go. There's a win for Mike today.
So 1 out of about 500 text messages.
That's right. Oh.
Can't read that one.
Nope. Nick from Prattville, haven't seen that much salt since my last McDonald's biscuit. Tell Mike to take a chill pill.
Why did he go from 0 to 60 real quick?
I don't know.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were having a nice little conversation, and then boom. Got off the rails quick.
He's stressed.
Think so?
Mm-hmm.
Think he's really worried about Lane Kiffin this weekend? No.
He should be after what happened last year.
Don't you think Georgia gets it done at home?
No, I don't.
You don't? Really?
Hotty toddy.
Y'all going to pack a big picnic basket and ride over there? You and your family?
It's going to be a wonderful afternoon in Athens.
What are y'all tailgating that godforsaken city?
Oh, we'll find a place.
It's nothing like the Grove.
It's going to be fun.
No. Times were better when we were back in the SIP.
Casey Dunn, the head baseball coach of the UAB Blazers, joins us next here on Three Man Front.